sometimes what we see in inherited IRA accounts are either a beneficiary that gets named and a lot of time passes and that person's gone or no longer a key person in your life. It could be there was a divorce and then you remarry and you didn't name the new spouse or name your kids instead of your former spouse, something like that. That's not uncommon to see. And also, of course, somebody could predecease the IRA holder and they might be the only person named. Sometimes an IRA holder will name their spouse and no contingent beneficiaries. And the reason I wanted to bring that up, then you're in a circumstance where the estate becomes the IRA beneficiary, not an individual. So remember, when you're talking about an inherited IRA, we're talking about an account that goes by beneficiary, not by will, not by probate. And so at this point, we've run out of beneficiaries. And so actually the estate does become the beneficiary of the account. You can still do an inherited IRA. An estate can still be a non-taxable transfer and put it into a state Benny IRA. But now you've got going kind of by the will. You're kind of taking direction from the executor. And that life expectancy rule, this is where I think a lot of confusion comes in. I just said there was a new rule in 2020. That's for people. That's for individual beneficiaries, not for non-people like an estate. And so now you're back to the old life expectancy rule of the person who just passed away. So what was left on their life expectancy at the time that they died? So in some cases, if they died young, say 73, they're going to have actually a longer than a 10-year life expectancy. And if they were to pass away, in their 80s, then they're going to have a shorter than a 10-year life expectancy. So another key, concept here is that you want to make sure your beneficiaries are up to date, because if you live a normal life expectancy and it ends up going to your estate, you're going to have a much more rapid distribution coming out of that account. Or a trust also is a little bit of a nuance there. That only has a 5-year period of time, not a 10-year period of time. So having individuals as named beneficiaries and having them up to date so they're still living and important people in your life are the right people to get it, that's another reason you want to stay on top of the beneficiary designation. If the people you would name as your beneficiaries are important to you, it's important that you do good planning now. Get your successor owners, your contingent beneficiaries, not just the primary, in place. To help in that, check us out at goodfinancial.com and go to the Contact Us page, and we're happy to start a conversation.